I'm here in Birnam. I'm sitting on the base of the Birnam oak tree, part of the original members of the medieval forest of this area. I'll just maybe pan back a bit. We can see how mighty and incredible this Birnam oak truly is. Now, I've been to this oak tree many times over the years, but I'm in Birnam today and things feel very different because of what I'm alchemizing and processing, which has to do with witchcraft, the ancient time in Scotland when the witches were present and prevalent, and I've been feeling my participation in that, which I haven't felt quite so intimately, and in a real way as what I do currently, because I've been exposing publicly my own distorted feminine. It means that more layers of it can come up and come clear to me, and so I'm feeling a wee bit what's the word? Unnerved. I'm not relaxed. There's part of me that is not relaxed, and I usually feel a great sense of peace and joy and relaxation being here. Not today, because today I am addressing an ancient witchcraft and an ancient magic and an ancient spellcraft and darkness that I have been part of in these lands, on this land, in this culture and in this nation. I just walked along the riverbank and I stopped to engage with another incredible tree that I hadn't actually met before. It stopped me in my tracks, and I engaged with it, and I got closer to it, and there were 3 burrs, really large burrs on the side of its body, and they looked a bit like witches' faces, kind of gnarly, mangled, old witchy faces. And I was like, okay, that's striking a chord. So I took some photos of them, and I was like, okay, this is pieces to a puzzle going on here. And I walked further along the path to visit this tree here, the original Birnam oak, and because I knew there was a story here about MacBeth and the witches in MacBeth, and I was walking up to the plaque and I was like, please don't have 3 witches on it, that would really freak me out. And I walked up to the plaque, and yes, there's 3 witches in the picture with MacBeth, and a little bit about the story and the legend of MacBeth that Shakespeare wrote when he visited here and was inspired by the energy and presence of this place. So MacBeth is not a story I've read. I don't know the story. I've never seen a play, but I'm going to engage with that because there's a key in it for me. With Scotland and this place and my own process. Now, I was also yesterday at a place near Comrie called the Cauldron, which means the Devil's Cauldron. It's a place that I usually like to go, just like this. And again, instead of feeling peaceful, I felt quite anxious when I was there because I'm alchemizing my inner witch archetype. It's coming to the surface, and I still feel it today. It's like it's got nowhere to hide anymore, and it's a little bit like in The Wizard of Oz, where, you know, the Great Oz is like some kind of almighty, all-powerful character that everyone fears and reveres and respects. And then in reality, pull back the curtain and it's just a wee quivering old fumbling guy. And it's a wee bit like that with this feminine archetype I'm feeling, because when I was in the woods yesterday, I felt so shriveled and so small. Like, this aspect of me was so shrunken down. It was like, it was just incredible to feel it. It felt so diminished and I could actually experience its real size and its real stature, which was very small, just like the Oz behind the curtain. It's like it somehow manages to expand and inflate itself to be so big and to feel so mighty and important. But when it gets exposed, it's not what it seems. It's actually a very small, insecure, timid kind of aspect. And that's what I'm processing at the moment. And it's the amazing thing about it, as well as that, is that I keep coming into nature intentionally at the moment, because I lie on the land and I just cry. I just allow myself to cry and allow this aspect to weep and to feel sorry and to just feel so bad. To just feel so bad and so horrible for everything that it's done in the realm, in her nature creational realm. There's a real atoning process going on for me at the moment with my own inner witch archetype and the natural realm. There's a reconciling and a sort of love returning in their agreement, and it's certainly, I feel horrible a lot of the time. I'm having to really feel how this aspect truly feels, and it feels so inferior in the face of like the glory of nature and the majesty of the natural world. It feels so inferior and like unworthy and just like isolated and scared. It feels so intimidated by the power of nature, so intimidated by it, but at the same time it's just in awe of how amazing it all is. And that's the process I'm in at the moment, is feeling the real size, the real smallness actually of the distorted feminine as the witch. It's like that in the Wizard of Oz as well. She's melting. The waters, the Dorothy has splashed the waters on this witch in me, and she's melting. She's melting. My own inner Magdalene, my own inner truth has splashed water, and we're casting away the spell with truth and with a purity of heart. We're casting away the spell, and we're setting this whole dynamic free. And it's a wonderful and slightly painful thing to feel, but I'm glad to be doing it. And it just felt right while I'm here in Birnam, in the middle. I'm right in the heart of having this process with myself, with the distorted feminine, with the natural feminine. And I won't go into it right now, but I also had a realization about the mechanisms in the church with the God entity, and how it feels this way. It feels so diminished in the face of the wonder of natural creation that it projects that onto us and gets us to be lowly and us to be inferior and us to be unworthy in its presence, because it feels unworthy and lowly deep down in the face of her, in the face of the Great Mother, in the face of the great container and the true authority of life. And it's also threatened by her capacity for love, because it doesn't have that. And same with this distorted feminine aspect. It's overwhelmed by nature's capacity for love, and she feels awful that she doesn't have that. And it is very humbling, and it is there's a deep sadness to feel, but it's a cleansing process as all these forces coalesce and resolve, that the separation of them all comes back into my heart in this process. So that's really what I wanted to capture while I'm here with the mighty Birnam oak. I believe it's 7 meters girth, so it's quite a being, and I'm very glad and grateful to be here. And I will just end this one here for now. Thank you for listening. Okay, bye for now.